We got the homie, man, one of the illest lyricists on the West Coast, man. He was part of the group that just came in. They didn't just come in, man. They kind of kicked the door in, man. The New West.
Yes, sir.
The New West.
Yes, sir.
I remember it was a lot of
Maestro.
Yeah, it was a lot of cats that was real shook up about that. And I guess he don't need no introduction, so to speak. Bishop Lamont. Bishop, what's cracking, dog?
Man, I'm happy to be here.
Man, you know what? We might as well go into that because we got two people here. Because I know Eiht was one of those dudes that was real vocal about what the is these new coming in talking all this for.
Mm-hmm.
All these
nothing personal against any particular artist or that.
Yes, sir.
I've never had any drama, so to speak, with any new artist. I love any artist coming up out the West Coast trying to uplift what we have as far as music and the foundation of the West Coast, you know. But as you know, some of us old cats, we just had took it a little offensive by saying New West because we felt like we were all West as a whole, and what was changing as far as new artists coming from the West Coast, we just wanted to keep it West Coast.
Yes, sir.
You get me? But no disrespect to none of the new artists representing the West Coast, because let's face it, we all gotta advance, and we all gotta uplift whatever is coming out of the West Coast and representing us as a whole, because you know a lot of people kind of write us off every now and then when we tend to not follow the trendy or try to follow what's going on as far as hip-hop concerned. You know what I'm saying?
Message. But first off, thank you for bringing up this conversation, because to have this conversation with you of all is a blessing, because we never had that back then. But the first misconception about the New West was thinking that we was excluding our big homies, our peers. We were saying New West for anybody that never got an opportunity. A nigga could be 50-something years old. You could have been the ghostwriters or the producers, whatever it was behind these other people. We tired of being stepped on and used as X, Y, and Z. And so that's what that rebellion was really about. And it was only targeted at those that was hating on us.
Yeah.
And that was Ice Cube and Snoop at the time.
Okay.
Clearly, that's what that was. And it was crazy to see it happen.
And I never knew that.
Exactly.
Y'all felt like, why did you feel, because I never, you know, like I said, when it came to guys like you, I knew what you was about, your penmanship, you know what I'm saying? You put your work in, you know, a lot of the homies knew about Bishop, you feel me? So.
And I was your biggest fan because I lived off Clymar in a laundry.
Right.
And I would be up at West Park, and I would be down there at the liquor store. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I seen you.
So,
it was the real thing.
You know.
So there's a difference with the real ones that we look up to, and then others that was like, no, that. What we were frustrated about, though, was that why do we have to keep going through this concentration camp? It's not a thing of an institution. It's a thing where I'm going to use you for all your writing, take all your styles. I'm going to use you for all your producer ideas, your fashion ideas. Once I've drained you, then I'll release you. But what will you look like? You'll look like a replica. So why do we have to partake that way? We are down to work with y'all. That's what we were doing.
Right.
But when you don't want to pay us, or you don't want to treat us right, or you don't want us to have our space. I remember when Snoop told me on the phone after it was done, shouts out to Dada and Day One for making that happen, but he put us together on the phone, and he was like, I want to apologize for what went on with that, but I just felt like it wasn't y'all time to be on the court yet. You know what I'm saying? It's the little homies. And I said, I understand that, but isn't your right to tell us that? If we can ball you up on the court, it's our time. Just like when it was your time and y'all had to bust out from under Easy. Even though we didn't like the way that went down, that's what happened. Because it was like a civil war to us. Because we fans of everybody. So that's not what the New West wanted. My principles was based on like the barbershop picture, the arm reaching over the wall. I believe in Bunchy Carter. I believe in Fred Hampton. You understand? The principles of each one teach one and reach. That's the movement, because the more people we put on, the more power we have, like the South. We was losing. More was having to run to the East Coast and get signed to East Coast labels instead of having it thriving on the West Coast and having all this talent in our backyard. So we can fortify things and do it better than we did it before. That's what it was supposed to be about. But then Ice Cube started saying so much and blah, blah, blah. I just went real left and they started picking sides thinking it was an ageism. No, this is about having an opportunity to shine. All these that never got credits on albums, that never got their names on what they wrote, that never saw no royalty checks. That we knocking down the doors. I'm up at the beat trying to get everything on the radio. Tawala, ask Tawala, ask Dorsey Fuller. I was trying to get everybody through the door. We go to Power 106. I'm telling E-Man, listen to all these. We playing West Coast. That was the New West movement. Kiki Loco was with us. All blessings. All kind of people was with us. Little Ice Cube. I can't remember all the cats that was with us. Delron. So many OGs was Jazzy. Blessings to Jazzy. Was navigating me. I had counsel with elders. I wasn't going against my heroes. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna stop. But thank you for this. I ain't even thought about that years.
I could definitely feel that because as an artist coming up in that time, I never, felt like I was even on that, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg level. I never reached out to nobody's camp. You feel me? Like, I guess just from day one, I just felt like it was just me and Chill and Slip, and I'm not gonna try to give a demo to Cube. I'm not gonna try to give a demo to Dre.
See,
I'm like it, because I came up off hood mentality. It was just me and the homies in the hood. Everybody on the outside. So I never looked to go get discovered by nobody else.
There you go.
So, did I feel like, damn, how come I ain't, the Ice Cubes? And how come, I felt like at a point, what, is blackballing in
Message.
Because, nigga, I'm spitting the same ghetto tales, and I'm preaching about the tales from the hood, and and I wasn't about let's go to the club and party. I was about getting shot on the block every
and let's
day.
say this on top of that. How dope is it when we looking at Can It All Be So Simple and your ass is right there with Wu-Tang? Then you on the Shimmy Shimmy Ya remix. That's how
I got a lot of respect from East Coast dudes.
But that's how dope you was, and they recognized it. And we saw that. He universal. Universal.
I got
that was dope.
Shout out Primo, shout out Wu-Tang,
yes,
shout out Old Dirty.
Yes,
shout out Buster.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Pete Rock. I with a lot of East Coast dudes. I know, not that, I didn't with my West Coast homies, but like you said, I seem to got more respect from
you were MC.
East Coast dudes. And that was
MC.
me. I was MC8.
Hey, let me ask.
I know what it is. I know an MC when I hear him rhyme.
Let me ask
Stop
both
it.
of
I'm
y'all
a fan.
something.
I study. Yes, sir.
See, at that time, the West Coast suffered really bad from what I call a quoted on syndrome.
Yeah.
Everybody that ever came out the West Coast that was successful came up under the NWA family tree.
Right.
They were either a byproduct of Dr. Dre, they were either a byproduct of Ruthless Records. They fell from that branch.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Above the Law had Snoop before Dre did.
Yes.
They had, Snoop and Warren, they was messing with Above the Law, and they had kind of took the whole G-Funk thing over there, to Dre, and
Shouts out to Hutch. We used to have a thing called Real Nigga Mondays.
Credit.
We used to talk on the phone about it. Hutch was putting me up on all that in the real history. That's why it was so weird when, all this stuff happened with Easy and all that. But that's what happens with business, and stuff goes wrong, and it's the wrong people in the mix. But yes, but that was the problem, because imagine, why does everybody have to come under the umbrella of just these individuals? Let people go be their own people, because it's like a molestation situation. They want everybody to get No. Learn from the mistakes and let other people do better. Get off that sick disease and stop handing that down. We need more success here. A lot of our young cats that were on their way to success got murdered. Think about the young cats we had. Was it the Teach Me How to Dougie? Was that the
Yeah, the kids, the homie
about
Big
the
Y had
things-
them. Big Y,
Yeah,
Big
bless
Y.
Big Y. So it's like you think about this and opportunities and how big these songs are going and what can change these children's lives and their families' lives and how big we can go. It kept getting knocked down. That was a whole nother aspect of it. We got to push and be able to get people other places. But you know, when we go to Capitol or we go to Def Jam, are you down with Dr. Dre? Are you down with Snoop? Are you down with so-and-so? Why do we got to be down with anybody? Why can't you just listen to the demo? If you ain't got no affiliations with any of those houses, they don't want to sign you.
And that's almost
So,
a
you know what I mean? There
byproduct.
was a lot of that back then.
Yeah.
That's almost a byproduct of it.
I was fortunate enough to like sneak in the side door when Easy and Dre and them started cracking. You know how the labels do. They sit up and go, that's cracking. We need to find one of them. It was fortunate enough that I had a snake who was able to snake his way in and use the shoulder rubs he knew from, I know this cat, and I know this cat. Listen to these cats.
Ooh.
You get me? And they were like, so to them it was like, we got us one of them. Like, we didn't actually fall from up under the Easy umbrella, but like a motherfucker was breaking in the house and they left the motherfucker side window open. And we was able to climb through the side window before the whole trickle down of, do you know Easy?
Yep.
Do you know Dre? Do you know Snoop or Cube? Or, we was able to get a deal off of that. And fortunate I was able to build off of that to where I didn't have to wait to come up under the Easy, Dre, Cube umbrella. I mean, because let's face it, that was the West Coast.
Will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. Gangsta chronic pose. This is not